is a place, there is a moment, there is a feeling and escape from your ordinary way. There is a place, there is a time, there is a reason to make today an extraordinary day. Look what you're missing, look what you're missing. There's a world for you to see, paradise to set you free. Look what you're missing, look what you're missing. Come along, I'll take you there, an adventure we can share. There is a place.
Hello there, my name is Warren Elwood,
And I'm Henk Kutsia.
and this is Look What You're Missing. It's the TV series in which we're going to introduce you to the exhilarating world of travel by adventure bike. Now I don't mind telling you, the first time I heard the words adventure bike, well, I had these horrible images flashing through my mind of me stuck halfway up a mountain somewhere on a mountain bike. And most of this lot waiting on the top for me, because I'm really not much of a mountain biker. But this is an adventure bike, and it's got to be the most enjoyable, the most exciting, and did we say exhilarating way to see South Africa, or Africa, or in fact the world.
This series will feature the places, the people, the history and the culture we've discovered during our travels, as well as introduce you to the wonderful world of exploring this beautiful land by motorcycle. And that's why it's called Look What You're Missing, because we want to share this special way of exploring with you.
Now in line with that, we're going to be sharing with you hordes of tips and tricks that we've learned over the years. And we're going to introduce you to various experts in their fields as we take you through the equipment that we use, so that hopefully your journeys can start off a little easier.
The first area we're exploring is the Agterpakkers area, which includes the Bido Valley and beyond, all of which lies in the northern regions of the majestic Cederberg mountain range.
Before we get into this week's episode, let's have a closer look at adventure biking. A dual sport or adventure bike is a street legal motorcycle that is designed for both on and off-road use. Engine capacities range from as little as 200cc right up to 1300cc, with many manufacturers sharing the market. Put simply, they are sort of like large enduro bikes that can handle almost any type of terrain, but can easily cruise on tar roads at highway speeds. They are also robust, infinitely practical with extensive accessory and luggage options, and have an upright riding position that provides day-long comfort with superior vision.
It is said that only 10% of South Africa's roads are tarred, so if you stick to them, you'll miss out on 90% of what South Africa has to offer. Does that make sense? And that's why we love the gravel roads, and more specifically, the little lesser-known back roads and Oorgeepaaie. Now Oorgee stands for ongeskik, which in plain old English means that this road is probably not suitable for your little family saloon car.
These lesser-known roads take one to some real gems out in our country, and one will almost always be rewarded with some fantastic views and sights along the way. These little back roads are also rich in history and in culture, and with just a little bit of research before your adventure starts, it'll add that much more to your journey.
But even though gravel roads can be explored without the boundaries or limits imposed by tar roads, one also needs to respect the areas and communities you ride through, as often these roads are servitude roads and go across privately owned land. So stick to the road or track. Don't speed through between buildings. Keep an eye out for livestock and wildlife, and make sure you leave gates as you found them. A closed gate left open, or even vice versa, can cause a farmer a huge amount of trouble.
So we're about 21 odd kilometers from Clanwilliam at the moment on the R364, more specifically just over the rise of the Pakkes Pass. Now this whole road, all the way from Clanwilliam to the Englishman's Grave, was only completely tarred a few years ago. And while I suppose some will say it's taken the adventure out of adventure biking, it's not entirely a bad thing because it enables one to look around a little bit more while riding a motorcycle. And the first views of the Agter Pakhuis area from up here are simply fantastic. In fact, they're worth stopping for.
There are a lot of stories of why the Pakhuis Pass was so named. One story has it that the rock formations around here look like a packed warehouse, which to me seems to be the most feasible. Built by the famous pass builder Thomas Bain, construction started in 1874 and the original pass was completed in 1877, although it's seen its share of modifications over the years. In fact, you can see a small piece of the original pass just down here below us.
Now for motorcyclists, the Pakhuis Pass is, besides being a whole heap of fun to ride on a motorcycle, it's also the gateway to another whole world. On the way up here we've passed some of the history in the area. We've passed the Kliphuis and the Claim Kliphuis. We've stopped at the Soldaatkorp. We passed the grave of Louis Leipold. But this is where it really starts for me.
Absolutely. From here we find much history, rock paintings, interesting people, legends, places, and even a couple of ghost stories. You know what, Warren, why don't we start with one of those at the bottom of the pass?
So this is the Oudpoort, or rather perhaps this is the Nieuwpoort. There's not really that much left of the old original Oudpoort. Now this was the Wild Wild West. This is where you'd expect the bandits to be waiting to hijack your coach. Now there's not really many bandits left in these parts, but apparently there's plenty of ghosts.
Headless dogs, a baby, a bearded old man, and a huge baboon have all featured in the Oudpoort ghost stories still told today by some of the locals. A more modern legend tells of a beautiful young woman hitchhiker who causes drivers to crash their cars when her fine hair blows across their faces. Now you are free to believe these tales or not, but if you want to find out firsthand if they're true, perhaps you should make the journey through the Oudpoort at midnight and keep an eye out for a beautiful young woman hitchhiking by the side of the road.